So in today's modern world, we've got a lot going on. We've got social media notifications going off every 2 minutes. We've got text messages. We've got messages from clients, from bosses. We've got relationships. We're trying to, maintain our health and fitness, our spirituality. We're trying to balance all these different things and become the best versions of ourselves. But the challenge is there's so much going on that sometimes it can be overwhelming. Sometimes it can feel like we're in this, a little boat on this stormy sea that's just getting rocked and rocked and rocked and rocked. And it's hard to keep up with that because what do, right? Do you sacrifice your health and fitness? Do you sacrifice your meditation, your spirituality? Do you sacrifice your business, your relationships? Are you supposed to do that? Isn't life supposed to be about the balance, right? And that's the questions, or those are the sort of questions I was asking myself not too long ago when I was trying to keep up with everything going on. I'm an entrepreneur. I've got a lot of amazing friends. I've got a beautiful relationship right now. I keep up with my health and fitness. I meditate every day. I'm very in touch with my spirituality. And I was trying to do all these things at once. And I was trying to figure out how can I do all of these things without going insane, without driving myself crazy, right? Because there's so much going on today. We're more distracted than ever because there's more external stimulus than ever. There's more people that have access to us, right? They're a Facebook message, an Instagram message away, Snapchat away, a text message away, right? Someone can just call you whenever because we have our phones glued to us every minute of every day, right? And everyone can reach you. And what happens is when that happens, when like people are sending you notifications, sending you messages, clients are hitting you up, bosses are hitting you up, whatever, we're in a state of reaction. And what I mean by that is when we're in a state of reaction, we're consistently responding to the stimulus around us, the environment around us, right? For example, if my phone went off right now, if I had the sound on, right, and a notification went off, my brain would immediately go to that, be like, ding, little notification, oh, I gotta go check that, right? Because that's what we're conditioned to do in today's world. And it's not like anything, there's no like secret diabolical plan to get us addicted to phones or anything, but that's kind of what's happening, right? We become so conditioned because every time we hear that sound, every time we hear the phone vibrate in our pocket, right, we're immediately conditioned to go like this. Bop. Every time you do that, your focus gets diverted. It's like your focus is like energy, right? And imagine if you had a laser beam that was taken off in 100 different directions, how scattered that energy would be versus if you had one powerful straight laser beam. And that's what happens when we're channeling our focus into something. Like right now, you can probably feel my focus is 100% here with you. But if my focus was diverted into my phone or the door or something outside, right? I would lose some of that focus and I'd lose some of that energy and I wouldn't be as present. So one of the things I was really trying to figure out was how can I still get all of these things that I want to get done? How can I work on my health and fitness every day? How can I keep up with my spirituality and grow in that sense? How can I keep developing my relationship? How can I keep, growing my business and getting better as a leader, as an entrepreneur and learning and growing every single day without feeling like that little sailboat in a constant storm? And that's where this came from. And this is something that I call the perfect day template. And if you struggle with anything that I talked about, if you feel like you're consistently overwhelmed, you're consistently stressed, you have a lot of anxiety, you're consistently in a state of reaction, this is going to help you get extreme clarity on your days. It's going to help you be at the cause so that you create the world around you. You're not consistently responding to the world around you. And when you get into that creator mode, that's where life becomes like a video game. And that's where you have control over pretty much everything going on in your life. Obviously, there's still some things that come up and you have to deal with, and you're never going to be 100% in a state of, creator mode and not in reaction to some things, because sometimes things just come up and you have to react to them. But when you do this consistently, when you practice the perfect day consistently, you're always going to be grounded and you're going to have way more power. It's like like the laser beam, right? You're going to be fully centered and have full alignment pretty much every day. And with that power and with that grounding and clarity and calmness, you're able to respond to anything that life throws at you with extreme clarity, discipline, focus, and way less stress. Like the ride becomes way more smooth and it's just a lot more fun, right? And you get a lot more done in a lot less time, because in today's world, we're getting this much done in this amount of time. But imagine if you could reverse that and you get this much done in this amount of time. And that's what the perfect day template helps you do. So I developed this for myself because I needed a way to not be in a state of stress and anxiety every day and really move faster, because I knew that something was holding me back and I didn't know what it was until I realized that I was consistently being in reaction and reacting to everything around me. So the perfect day template is really simple, but if you implement it into your daily life, it's going to change everything for you. And I guarantee that from firsthand experience and from our clients actually utilizing this and seeing the results that happen like this very quickly. As soon as the next day, you can see the results of this. So all it is it's basically breaking your everyday life into 3 parts. You have the morning, the afternoon, and the night. So every day is pretty much broken into those 3 parts, right? And within that, you're really breaking down the little habits or routines that you do in your daily life and that you want to do in your daily life. So for example, in my morning part of my perfect day template, I do meditation and gratitude as the first thing I do when I wake up. I also have breathing as well. I do breathing exercises, but that's so ingrained that it's kind of just part of this. The next thing I do is I visualize. The next thing I do is I read. And I do all of this, by the way, before checking my phone, which is a huge part of this. I don't check my phone until after the morning part of my day is done. And the reason I don't do that is because, again, if you check your phone, every time you check your phone, you are in reaction unless you are deliberately picking up your phone and saying, I'm going into my phone to answer this message, to message this person, to do this thing. Otherwise, if you're just picking up your phone and scrolling like most people do, you are in a state of reaction and you're never going to create anything good in a state of reaction. You're going to stay stuck in that state. So most people like roll over and the first thing they do is the alarm goes off, they shut their alarm, and then they check their phone, right? They see all the notifications that have piled up throughout the night. If you do that, you're starting your day in a state of reaction. What I've learned to do is put my phone on airplane mode and just use it as an alarm. I personally don't use an alarm because I wake up whenever my body tells me it's time. But if you have a job right now or you want to wake up at a certain time, you can put your phone on airplane mode and then you can shut your alarm right away and not even look at your phone. Like sometimes I'm even tempted to like look at my phone, but I don't. I just flip it over and I go throughout my morning routine. And when you do that, that one change alone will change your life for the better. It is absolutely amazing what happens after a week of doing that. Try it out, challenge yourself. It's kind of hard for the first few days, but after that, it's addicting. You don't want to go to the other way because you can see the powerful, all the power that comes with this and the changes that come right away. It's incredible. So that's what I do for my morning routine. And now for you, this probably will look different, right? Maybe you do meditation, gratitude, visualization, reading, or maybe you do some other things. The point is to just put in 3 or 4 activities or routines in your morning part of your day. And the reason that we do this is because we're creating a structure for our days, right? This is why I call it the perfect day template, because no matter where I go in the world, one of the major problems I used to have is I've been traveling for 4 years and I knew that a routine was important, but I never had it because I thought the word routine kind of took away my freedom, right? I was all about freedom. I still am all about freedom. What I realized is without a routine, there's chaos everywhere, right? And you're always in that state of reaction. So I decided I need something that I could take with me throughout wherever I go in the world, wherever I am in a new Airbnb, a new city, a new whatever. I can take something that is adaptable to my environment, but still has the structure to allow me to be at the cause every single day. And that's where this came from. It's a template that you use wherever you are, no matter where you are. You can just take it with you and adapt it. It's a template. It's moldable, right? So this is my morning routine everywhere I go. It's some variation of this. It's not the same rigid thing every day at the same time. It's just if I wake up at 11 a.m., I go through this. If I wake up at 8 a.m., I go through this. And it's the same thing for you. You can just adapt this to your lifestyle. That's why it's so easy. And the second part of it is the afternoon section of your day. So for me, I have what's called our war map, which is our calendar inside of our business. And then I map out my priorities. And this is really important because most people just jump, especially entrepreneurs, jump into the day and like the first thing they want to do is just do business, right? They're like, oh, I got to message this client, or I got to go listen to this new podcast, or I got to go through this course, or I got to read this book, or I got to go do this thing, right? And they're kind of like doing this and then this and then this and then this. And they're never really making measurable progress. They're just being busy for the sake of being busy because they think they need to be busy. They think they need to be doing things. And that was me for a long time, like years. And then I realized if I ever want to create something amazing and get consistent results and get this amount of results or this amount of results in this amount of time, I needed to prioritize what I was doing. I needed to prioritize the most effective things for my day. Because if you map out exactly what you need to be doing for the day, the most effective actions to bring you forward, then you're going to actually get those things done rather than thinking, oh, I need to do this and then this and then this, and then you get to the end of the day and you didn't really make any measurable progress. So the first thing I do in the afternoon section here is I map out my priorities for the day. Then once I do that, I get my team updates. So I have a call with my team, I message them on Slack, I say, hey everyone, what are your updates for the day? I get the updates, I see where everyone's at, and then once I know that they're good working on whatever they need to work on for the day, I go ahead and I execute on my priorities for the day. And again, this is really important. You don't want to jump straight into execution, because if you jump straight into execution, chances are you're going to miss some of the priorities. And if you miss the priorities, you're missing the things that are going to move you forward the fastest and the most important things to do. Usually we kind of want to avoid the priorities because something else is easier to do. A lot of times the priorities are the challenging things, but it's really important to look them straight in the eye and say, okay, I need to get these done for the day. So map them out first. If you have a team, I would get the updates first so you can make sure everyone is working on the things they need to be working on while you go ahead and execute. And that after that, I go ahead and I work out. I do some sort of physical activity, whether that's working out at home, working out at the gym, going for a run, whatever it is for you. Again, this is a template. This isn't some like, I'm just walking you through my perfect day template. This isn't something that you have to, you don't have to do every one of these little things, just fill in what makes sense for you. But it's incorporating all the major parts of my life, right? Health and fitness, relationships, spiritual well-being, business, all these things. So just, I want to give you mine so you can get an idea of how to put this together. And that summarizes my afternoon part of the day. And again, when you do this, like you are creating what I call the perfect day every day, because now when I do this, I have really good days, like every day. Like I don't really have terrible days anymore. I'm not going to say I don't have bad days, because there are some days that I take a dip, but this helps me recover from those very quickly. Like I used to go on streaks where I would have like bad days for maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month. It would just be like a bad month, and that sucks. And we don't have time for that, right? And we don't want to live in that state of being. So when you have this, you're able to generate your power and get back on track. Like I don't go more than like 2 days, I'd say, 3 days max in a bad streak. I'm back at the cause. I'm ready to go as long as I'm following this. And the last part of my day here is the nighttime. And this is where I really take time to learn. So whether that's going through reading another book, going through listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, or usually in my case now, it's going through courses. I've invested into a lot of courses and mentorship programs. I'm constantly investing into myself and learning from the people ahead of me in certain areas. And I usually reserve my time at night to go through and reflect on that. Or learn from that, I should say. And after that, I reflect. After I've learned, I reflect on how can I implement these lessons into my life, into my business, and how can I just grow as a human being and as a business leader. And also the second part of reflecting here is really reflecting on my day. Looking back at my priorities and saying, okay, did I get these done today? If not, why not? How can I make sure that they do get done tomorrow? If I did, awesome. What went well today? What made me feel good today? What made me feel alive today? I want to make sure I do more of that, because usually when you're in the moment, you're emotionally attached. So it's like when you're going through your day, you can't really reflect on the things that are going well or not going well because you're in it. When you zoom out, that's what you're doing when you're reflecting. You're kind of looking at your day from a higher level overview, and you're thinking, what went well? What didn't go well? What did I like? What didn't I like? What could I do better tomorrow? And when you really reflect on it from that state of being, you're able to get a lot of amazing answers that you wouldn't have been able to get had you been asking those questions right in the day. You need to zoom out and reflect. And the nighttime I found is the best time to do that, because you're winding down, you're reflecting from the day. If you have a view, it helps to go out. Like I do like balcony sessions, or in this Airbnb, I don't have a balcony, but this is a really nice view. I'm not sure if you can fully see it. I know the lighting's a bit tough here, but I look out at the mountains, and I think about my day. I reflect on my day and how everything went, and that really helps. Looking at beautiful views or going for a walk is really helpful as well. And the last thing I do is designing the day. And designing the day is basically planning your day the night before, right? So this is a template that pretty much stays the same every day. That's why it's called the perfect day template, is because you use it every day and you ensure that every day is a good day. But inside of each thing, there's going to be different things that come up, right? So for example, priorities. Every day the priorities are different. So what I do, tonight, for example, I will look at my priorities for tomorrow and I'll kind of map out when I'm going to get them done. I can break this down even further and go into the different compartments here and break down further. Okay, I want to get this done at this time. I want to do this priority first. I want to then do this. And what that helps you do is really break this down further and be in a state of even more control. And be at the cause even more, right? Because the further you can break something down and map out, like, okay, I want to get this done, then when it comes time to actually doing it, you don't have to spend your brain power thinking, how can I, what do I have to do? Because, I'm sure you've heard before, like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs used to wear the same clothes every day. And the reason they did that is because they wanted to limit the amount of decisions they were making on a daily basis. Because every time you make a decision, you're using brain power and you're using your energy, which is finite, right? Think of like a iPhone battery. It starts here, but then it keeps going down. And that's like your energy throughout the day. So you want to make sure that you are reserving your brain power and your energy for the most important things, which is usually executing, right? Because half the battle is figuring out what to do, and then the other half is going and actually executing. So if you can eliminate the first half of that, right, figuring out what to do, then you can spend all that energy actually executing, and we all know that when you execute, that's when you actually get things done. So if you can spend that brain power here at the end of your day where you don't really need it for anything else, then when it comes time to, you can quickly check out your priorities for the day, but you already know for the most part what you're gonna do because you designed it the night before, and then you can spend very little time on this and then spend most of your time here actually executing, and that's when you're gonna get significant results and move very, very quickly. So this is basically, has changed my life, truly. This is one of the most effective things I've implemented in my life. It's helped me like go way faster, way less stress, way less anxiety, get amazing results. Like I'm just in a better state every day because you're harnessing your power. It's not diverted in all these different, it's not going to the notifications. It's not going to this and this and this and this because you're holding on to your power. You're not giving it away and you're being at the cause because you know with clarity what your days are going to look like, and you go through and you can just execute and really design your life instead of being at the effect of life. Life is something that you can either take the reins of or it will throw you around, right? And I prefer to take the reins because I've done the other way for so long and it's not fun. So in summary, the perfect day template was designed to give you more clarity in your life, give you your power back, and let you go through with a much smoother ride and remove a lot of stress and anxiety that come with the modern day life that we're all living in. And I should also mention that if you want to focus on a specific part of your life, like if there's something you really want to work on, make sure to incorporate this into your template, right? And it's really designed to help you work on every area that you want to work on without having to sacrifice anything else, because you can just work in the different categories of your life into this template. So that's it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe here to our channel. If you want more videos like this, comment below and let me know if this was helpful. And if you want to, share your perfect day template in the comment section below, I think the more people that do this, the more we can all get inspired from other people's version of this and just have better and better days. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you on the next video.